What's up, y'all? What I want to talk about here in this video, you know what I'm saying? How people need to get out of a religious mindset, Yes. And if they get out of a religious mindset, they will be more smarter, you know. Y'all will be more smarter if y'all get out of this religious mindset. I'm talking to y'all that's listening to this message. People love to be religious but not smart. Being religious is not being smart. You know, being religious is actually being dumb. In a way, because you're not using your brain, you're using something that's inside of a book instead of your brain. Fully using your brain. You just using a small portion of your brain. You ain't using all your brain when you fall in religion. You fall in faith based bull crap. You believing in things in that Bible that you've been taught that it was, the truth. Instead of doing your own research. A lot of y'all they ain't even read the Bible. Y'all just believe in what y'all hear from the pastors or from people that been taught that through generations. I know I have. So I can't deny it, you know what I'm saying? I once was a victim of believing in this bull crap of Jesus Christ existing down for my sins. I once believed in all that, now I don't. I got a renewing of the mind. You know what I'm saying? I got a brand new brain, that don't function like the old me. You know what I'm saying? Life is about growing. Y'all religious people, y'all don't grow. When you religious, you don't grow in mind. You don't grow in knowledge. You stay dumbed down and in the same fold. You stay in a box. You don't go to a different higher level in your level of thinking, in your level of getting smart. You don't get smart. You actually get dumber and dumber and dumber. So for all you Christians, Muslims, and whatever religious set you at, being in your religion is not going to help you get smarter. You know what I'm saying? Staying in your, I'm not telling you leave your religion. I'm just saying if you want to grow smarter, you gotta go beyond the teachings that you've been taught. You gotta question them and see if they actually correct. A lot of y'all probably ain't even read the Quran. They call yourselves Muslims. Y'all so-called y'all Muslims out there. They're supposed to be Muslims. Y'all Christians out there. They're supposed to be Christians. A lot of y'all ain't even read the Bible probably. And if y'all ain't read the Bible or read the Quran, how can you speak on your religion and say it's the one true religion to follow? Or this is my faith. You gotta be all in it or all out. You can't straddle the fence. How you gonna be in something you don't know nothing about it? How you gonna say you in something and you ain't practicing what you're supposed to be? It's like saying I'm a killer, but I ain't killing nobody. That's like saying I'm a firefighter, but I don't put out no fire. When fires be out, when fires be spreading, It's like saying I'm a police officer and I don't go save people from crimes or arrest people for crimes. You know what I'm saying? I can't call myself something I'm not if I'm not practicing what is required to be that. You know what I'm saying? To be a good person, you will have to show good ethic. Good work. You know what I'm saying? To be a bad person, your ethic gotta show. You can't say you good if your ethic, if your work ethic is not showing that you good. That's as simple as that. A kid in elementary or preschool knows that. You know what I'm saying? In kindergarten, It's just simple elementary stuff I be talking about. And it's a shame how people don't gravitate to it. What I be talking about. They want to go so deep. When you're religious, you gotta go so deep than the ordinary. Everything gotta be so spiritual. You know, y'all so just like y'all Bible say y'all Christians, y'all be so y'all be acting so spiritual until y'all earthly no good. You know, even y'all Bible tell you you ain't supposed to be so spiritual until you know earthly good. That's what y'all Christians are. Yeah, or y'all so-called Christians, because that's what y'all Bible say, you know. So get outside the box of the Bible, the Quran, being a religious person, and start just making sense and use your brain and question it. Matter of fact, read if y'all ain't reading y'all Bible, if y'all ain't reading y'all Quran, what's the purpose of calling yourself a Muslim or a Christian? You know what I'm saying? You ain't no Christian or Muslim if you ain't reading your book and practicing it. What's supposed to be in it? How you gonna say you're a Christian? You don't read the Bible. You don't practice what's inside of the Bible. You know all the stuff or most of the stuff that's in the Bible, or work to do that. How you gonna call yourself a Muslim and y'all read the Bible or the Quran and y'all don't practice neither one of the books? And you still living the which I would say worldly, sinful lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? No. So get outside of the religious box. Even though you claim yourself religious, you should at least give it a try to think outside of that. You know what I'm saying? Use logic comes in, and most likely, if you use logical common sense, you probably wouldn't even be no Christian or Muslim no more. You know what I'm saying? You know, you still could be righteous. Not saying you ain't gonna be righteous if you let go of that title and stop trying to practice being that and by having the philosophies, the belief system. You know, if you have the belief system I have or other people have like me, most likely you ain't gonna be no Christian or no religious person in general no more. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have common sense. Ain't no way you can call yourself a Christian and be on the same level I am in thinking, you know, or a Muslim, etc. Buddhist, whatever. Ain't no way you're gonna call yourself a religious title, you know, and see what I see. You know, it ain't gonna go together. It's contrast to what I believe and what I stand for. I'm anti-religious. You know, I'm anti-religious, not fully anti-Bible. I'm not anti-Bible. I'm not anti-Quran, you know, because it do have a lot of truth in there. You know, it's 50-50 for me with the Bible. I don't know too much about the Quran, so I can't speak on that. But it's 50-50 for me with the Bible. But I promise you, you know, y'all need to get outside of religion and start thinking with a thinking cap, you know, because a lot of y'all probably don't even read the Bible anyway. A lot of y'all don't anyway, or practice it, but y'all want to call yourself a Christian. Well, I'm pretty sure y'all Muslim do too. You know what I'm saying? Probably, you know, but we need to, us people, we need to get on our high horse. Us so-called black people, we need to elevate to the top. You know, we need to elevate to the top. I'm not trying to stay at the bottom. I'm trying to go up to the top at a high level. Religion puts you at a low level, you know, at a low vibration. Thinking puts you on a high vibration. Religion don't make you think. Religion is just the constructive of how it wants you to think. It don't want you to expand outside the box. It's anti-thinking. Religion is anti-thinking and anti-knowledge. You know, it gives you the same thing. You know, if it ain't in the Bible, you shouldn't bring it up. It ain't true. See, it puts you in a box. When you use your common sense, you'll think better. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, y'all be cool.